Quilts are flying, colors splash. Pins and patches, stories grow. Stitching secrets we all know. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square. Buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses line so neat. Friendship's quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square. Buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses line so neat. Friendship's quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time. A spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Our life.
Stitch by stitch they weave the tale. A patchwork life where laughs prevail. Patterns clash, but who can tell? Quilted chaos suits us well. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air. Threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings. Life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around. It's a show where joy is bound. Pins and needles, jokes abound. Sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Look at this. Actually, that screen is a little bit behind this one. Usually that's not the case.
Oh, wow.
That's weird. Anyways, just looking at the technical...
Hello, everybody.
Okay, that
And
worked.
welcome. Look at this. Actually, that screen.
Okay, so everything's
Things are
working fine.
speedy these days.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird though that screen is usually delayed. Like they're, anyways. We're talking tech talk here. Something we observed, so not to worry. So let's see who is joining us today. We've got Nina was number one here.
Come to Russ.
I don't know. I don't see Russ.
He's preoccupied.
Oh my goodness. I don't
Ooh,
know.
Wow.
How could that happen?
Yeah.
I hope he's all right. Who else is here? Caroline is here, and Suzanne, and Mary is here or may not be because she said, darn, got a phone call. Let it go to voicemail. Because what could be more important than this? Really? Diana is here. Oh, Diana, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while on the sew days. Gloria's here. Karen is here from Vancouver, USA. Andy is here. Hi, Andy. And Dubrovka is here, of course, and I imagine Al is right there as well. They're there from Sunny Timmins, which is not a word you often hear. The Sunny Timmins. Barb is here. Chris is here. Let's see. Sue is here. Greetings, Stephen Walter from sunny, seasonable, warm Central Missouri. It's 9 degrees here Celsius.
Yeah, which is 42.
Which
40, is it 42? 48.
99 is 18 and 30 is 48.
Yeah, 48.
Cheryl H is here and Sherry Cook is here. And Karen B is here. Charlotte says greetings. I've got hiccups. Mary is here from Virginia. So I imagine we'll get a few more people joining us as time goes on, and we'll say hello to them when they arrive as well. Okay, I have the hiccups.
Maybe Russ is busy shoveling pollen.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I guess they're being attacked by pollen in Atlanta. He sent me a text, a meme earlier today, and it's a guy with a snowblower out, but it's all done in yellow, and it looks like he's plowing pollen with it. So I did Russ was talking the other day about pollen counts. I guess that's a thing. And so I went in and did one for our area. We're 0.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Nothing's blooming yet.
I mean, we do get pollen.
We still have a bit of snow left.
Yeah, we don't have, but it's a little early for us to have pollen right now. Grant's here. Hi, Grant. And Tamela is here, too. That's nice. And did I say hi to Charlotte? Yeah, I think I did. Hello, Charlotte. Anyways, I'll say it to her again. Say it once, say it twice. Spin the kitties. How does that go from the Trailer Park Square?
Yes, we are in Atlanta, and it's crazy this year.
Oh. What, Atlanta just in general or the pollen? Mona is here. Hello, Mona. Yeah, so let's talk about, well, since we're referring to spring, let's take a look at my springtime topper, which is going nowhere because it's just not going anywhere. See, look, take note. I did hit the button.
Okay, yeah.
Because you're always going, did you hit that button? Anyways, this is called the springtime topper. My original intention, it was on sale at Embroidery Library. It's an In the Hoop project. Was to make a bunch of them and sew them all together so I'd have like a big square for my circular coffee table up in the family room. Then I decided, nope, takes too long to make, and it's nice enough, but not nice enough. And so I thought, well, what am I going to do with it? So I just threw a backing on it. And as you can see, I didn't do a very good job of getting all the seams all the way around, because when I was turning it back right sides out again, I had forgotten to clip all around the curves. So there's extra bulk. And I could have worked at it with my pushy outy thing there, but it's not worth it because I'm not going to do anything with it whatsoever. It's pretty, but yeah, it was on sale, $5. So, you know, I'm a sucker for a sale. What else? Okay, this is going to be Walter's practice quilt. It's just made up of a bunch of scrappy or I had a whole bunch of charm pieces, you know, 5-inch squares. I just made a whole bunch of half square triangles, slapped them down, had some of that fabric that's in the Healing Waters quilt left, so I cut it up into strips. And so he can practice. Lots of little areas in there for you to do your little nooks and crannies with your free motion quilting, which I'm going to show you in a moment. Walter's getting really good at this. I hate to admit it. It'll go right to his head. The Alaskan quilt, I'm still working on it, of course. And it's coming along. I've done 3 of the blocks now, and there's 4. I don't know how to explain that. There are 4 blocks, and there are 4 blocks in a set of blocks. So I have done 3 sets of blocks, put it that way. And there are 13 in total. The last one, though, the 13th one only has 1 block. The rest all have 4. I'm getting better with the ruler that I bought for it, and we'll talk more about it on the Idiot Quilter, and maybe I will show you what the blocks look like to date. I have been recording my journey with this, and I will publish it after I get the quilt done at some point in time, whenever that is. And it's going to be called the Alaskan Quilt, or My Journey to Hell. So, to hell and back again. And I have been busy cutting all the pieces for the Art East Quilt Company. I got the kit for the Peter Pan quilt, which is second star to the right, I think is what it's called. This, believe it or not, is the pieces for block number 1. Yeah, this took a while to cut. That's why John's t-shirts that he has for his company say so cut. Or no, sorry. Cut. So I'm dyslexic. What do you want? Yeah, is there a dog? Yeah, so I mean, John's instructions are excellent. It's just, it drives me mental with the amount of cutting. And of course, you've got to label everything, as you can see. So next stage is to start putting it together. The official kickoff is on April the 1st. It's a sew along, a block a month kind of a thing, I think is how it's going to work out. I may get ahead, I may get behind, because I'm working on the Alaskan quilt at the same time as this. And I have other projects too, like another In the Hoop project. This is a table runner. It's called the Jacobean Floral Table Runner. That's just 2 pieces of it, an end piece and one of the pieces in the middle. There's 2 end pieces, and I think, well, you can have as many pieces in the middle as you want, depending on how long you want it. These take a while to stitch out, but I kind of like it. It's bright, it's cheerful, it's springish. So I have no particular purpose for it, except that, I like doing these things. So, yeah. But I'll carry on with that in bits and pieces between everything else. So at one point, I didn't have any projects, really. Then I got 1. Now I have 3. Yeah, it just grows and grows and grows, doesn't it? So what's Walter been working on?
Well, I still have a shirt to complete, but other than that, I just need to put the collar on it and the buttons on it. And then I've got, I've been doing a bit of free motion stuff.
And here's Walter's free motion stuff. This I saw on Lucy this morning.
Yeah, that was just my first attempt at feathers.
Yeah, and there's some more. You're getting better at these. Yeah. But what I was really impressed with this morning was this. I don't have a picture. I thought I had a picture on here.
Oh, well, that's my pie.
Well, I was impressed with that. Anyways, he's done some more. He's been doing ribbon candy, the kind of thing you put in borders and that kind of stuff. So I will show that on Idiot Quilter this week. I thought I already had it logged up there because I took a picture of it. But,
okay.
Well, I can, if you want, I can put it up here. In fact, I thought I had it already up there. Let's go to this view for a second. We'll talk about your pie in a minute. There it is. And let's go. And it should go over. Is it going?
Yeah, airdrop.
There. So here we go. I can show this now. And let's get it up here onto the screen. And this. this, and there it is. So tell us what's happening. What's going on?
Well, I just started doing this. This is one of the patterns in one of the books that I was looking at, and tried to get. It was a little bit. It's still not that even, but it's getting the motion.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I think they look pretty good.
Yeah.
For what you're doing with them. Now, how did you get the straight lines across?
I put the lock on.
Ooh. Ooh. My little boy's growing up. You knew how to do that.
Yeah.
Well, good for you. Did you base the quilt?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Oh, my God. You're getting really good at this.
Yeah.
Oh, good. My plan is working. So, yeah. Well, that looks pretty good. I'm really impressed. I especially like the row. Oh, no one can see me pointing at. The whatever row down, 3 rows down or so in there with the loop-de-loops going. Like they're pretty even coming. I mean, not bad. Not bad. Better than I can do. Damn it.
It took me a bit. If you look at the far left, it took me a bit to get the motion going on some of them. So
yeah, see that. But whoa, it's coming. It is coming. Are you just about filled the bed sheet?
no, not yet.
Oh, you still have room on that? Okay.
I was going to do some more, try and do some more feathers, but I got tired last night. So
oh, if you master feathers, there'll be no stopping you. You'll be the envy of all the girls on that one. So, well, that looks pretty good. Okay. Just getting back here. What are people saying? Anybody come in?
yeah, Steve's been bugging me to make a pie forever. So
oh, yeah, I forgot. The picture of the pie. Where's the pie? Where's the pie? Where's the... Everything got scrambled around here. There's the pie. There it is. An apple pie. And it's delicious. Yes, I've been bugging him for quite a while to make a pie because everybody knows pie is my favorite food group. And it was very good. Very nice. And it's hollow.
yeah, the apple's compressed a lot, so there's like a hollow cavern in there.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Well, it says to use, my recipe says to use 6 cups of apples. I used 8, but
oh, well, yeah, well, they cook down.
yeah,
Use Granny Smith too.
yeah.
So I don't know if that makes a difference. Is Granny Smith considered a cooking apple? Like,
Well, I
guess?
read that Granny Smith is supposed to be good for apple pies. I mean, years ago, all I did was make apple pies out of Macintosh, and I've been experimenting with different apples the last little while.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it is delicious. I'm enjoying it a lot. Okay, let's see. Some people came in and people are saying things. Charlotte says that oak pollen here is 15,300. We'd need Russ here to explain.
I have
the
no
numbers,
idea. We don't have pollen counts.
We don't have pollen counts. Yeah. Sherry says she's suffering from the pollen. Pam from Minnesota is here. Andy says all those pieces make my head hurt. Yeah, believe me, they make my head hurt too. And I mean, that's just one block out of, I'm not sure how many blocks are total in this quilt, but it'll all come together. And I'm making sure that I'm very accurate in the cutting with it, because you know that with so many little pieces like that, if you are out even by a smidgen, that smidgen will multiply, and so you don't want to be out. Adam's here. Hi, Adam. Excited to hear you're going second start at the right too. Yep. Yeah, I had FOMO. I'm not regretting it, but I'm kind of thinking, oh,
What did I get myself into?
well, I knew what I was getting myself into because I've done one of Art East's before, but I did one of the more simple ones. I did the cat scratch one, which I remember at the time saying to myself, why? All the little pieces in the cutting. Now at that time, that one, I cut all the pieces before I did any of the blocks. And even John says, not the best approach. Cut what you need for the block you're working on, kind of a thing. Don't try to cut everything at once because it will drive you nuts. With it, but the end result are always good, and isn't his construction construction instructions rhymes, are always very, very clear and easy to follow. So yeah, but it is a bit of a challenge. Um, Faith is here. Hi, Faith. Barb says, "Wow, Walter."
Yeah, I'm beginning to get the hang of the machine. Like beginning to get the way, like before when I first started, it was sort of jerky, but now I'm getting a nice flow going.
Oh, you and Lucy have had
Yeah, yeah.
a serious relationship now. Adam says, "Well done, Walter. Awesome." Rachel's here. Hi, Rachel. Um, FMQ and the pie. Yep. And who is okay. Feg use buff.
Hmm?
I don't know.
Oh, that greetings.
That's somebody new, I guess. Well, welcome. Charlotte says great progress. Yes, I saw Dana come in. Where is she? There she is, up there. Adam So's completed teaching No Place Like Home through Art East today. Amazing quilt. I'm way far behind, of course. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about too, Dana, is if will I get behind? I mean, because at one point we go to Japan, and I'm not absolutely sure how John has this set up. I'm assuming he's doing one block each month. So, that would be a good way to space it out. But I've got the complete, like, it came with the book. Yes, the pattern is a book. And I mean, there's nothing stopping me from working ahead if I feel like it. We'll see how it all goes. It will be done at some point. Adam says, yes, cut per block makes it like a mini project within the overall project. Yeah, I think there's less, it doesn't seem like an overwhelming task. Dubrovka says, wow, excellent job, Walter, with long arm. I see you will be handing out business cards soon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no. Though
I've still got a long way to go.
Well, anyways, it's coming along very nicely. Okay. So we've got your pie. We don't have a shirt to show. So that takes us to what's coming up past events. Next week, before we forget, we will be on 1 hour earlier. It is Easter Sunday. We've been invited to my sister's home for Easter dinner. So we need to, instead of coming on at 4, we'll need to be on at 3 Eastern time. So if everybody can remember that, I will give reminders out during the week about that. And some of you might not be able to join us anyways because it is Easter. So you may be doing family things as well. Going out, licking the bunny, because they are made of chocolate. Yeah.
Coloring eggs.
Coloring eggs. I saw a really neat way of coloring eggs. They put white rice in a plastic bag, like a Ziploc. They added a few drops of food coloring to it, shook it all around so the rice sort of took on the color. Then they put their egg in, with it in the shell, right, kind of thing, in that bag and shook it around. Now, they said do it gently so you didn't crack your eggs. So obviously they weren't pre-cooking their eggs. They weren't hard boiling them. I think I'd hard boil them.
Yeah.
And they shake them up down. Oh my God. If that works.
Well, you might actually shake it too hard and start taking the shell off.
Well, that's true too. So I don't know. But anyways, they came out beautiful. And they look all marbly in the whole bit. So I don't know if that's fake.
Is that real or fake?
Well, I've seen it a couple of times in different spots. So I have a feeling it's legit, but I don't know. I'm not trying it, but
I used to color them with my mom when I was a kid.
We never did it. My
Used
mother had to think about it. Oh yeah, the kits for it.
Yeah.
No.
And then one time I got smart and decided to color a couple of raw eggs, and my mom accidentally put them in my dad's lunchbox.
I'm sure your father was thrilled when he went to peel his egg and found out it was uncooked.
Well, actually, I guess he figured that out before he actually did it.
Yeah.
So,
Wild Rose Treasures is here. Hello.
I guess he kind of figured it out when he was
When he was what?
when he tried to crack it
Oh,
open.
yeah, I'm sure that would be the
Yeah.
first clue. Yeah. Rachel says, I'll be in the middle of nowhere on holiday. Bad signal and zero internet. Okay. The middle of nowhere. I've never been there.
I thought that was Oshawa.
Yeah, we live there. Yeah. Adam says, do you blow your eggs? Adam! This is a family show. Hole in the top. Adam, it's not getting any better. And bottom, and blow the inside out the bottom. Oh, the things I could say. I will say, though, I have never blown an egg.
We always did it with hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah. Nope, never
And
did
then
that.
you'd eventually eat them. So
Yeah. Cheryl says, I'll be decorating eggs with my grandsons on Fridays. It's a family tradition. We check out the rice dyeing. Sounds intriguing. Yeah. Yeah, let me know how it works for you, Cheryl, because I don't know if I'll be trying it out or not. But yeah, it looked great if it's legit. Adam says, sounds so wrong. Yeah. Well, yeah, at least for this program. Now. Okay. So, what was I talking about? So the live next week, 3:00 next Sunday. I have little Easter baskets for them all that I made with the 3D printer. I'm going to show them on my Monday morning coffee with Stephen, all finished up and all dressed up. And they've got some chocolate eggs in them, and they have some little fidget bunnies and things to play with. Yeah, I know. The kids, my sister's kids are like over 30. But yeah, kids of any age like fun things.
well, they're still living at home, so
Yeah, well, I like making them, so I'm taking them there. They can do with them what they want to do out of my sight, and they probably will. In fact, I'm sure I'm leaving myself open to some snide comments when we bring, because my family are like that. Yeah, and I know you're going, oh, are they really? What a surprise! Haha. Yeah. Rachel says, yeah, that's what we did. Unless we were rolling them down the hill, then we used hard boiled. Couldn't you afford a ball? I mean, don't know. Adam says, we did too, Rachel. Then you could keep them forever.
oh, like the ones that you took the egg yolk out.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So
Nah, we didn't keep those forever. My mom cooked some eggs, and we colored them, and my dad took them to work for his lunch.
Actually, we never, in my life as a kid, never ever did anything with eggs except chocolate eggs. Yeah,
Probably because your mother thought it was too messy.
yeah, my mother would be very particular about that. Not doing that. But I don't think she ever did them as a kid either. I never remember her.
My mom did because I think she did with her mother when she was a kid.
Yeah, my mother, I never heard her mention ever doing them as a kid. And my father never mentioned them either. Now, I know that I think they may have made my father's mother, my grandmother Bland. She was into chocolate making at one point. My dad told me when he was a kid, and I think she may have made some chocolate eggs or something at the time. But I don't ever. My grandmother we never dyed eggs, so it was just not a thing for us. Andy says, my favorite Christmas ornament was an egg with Peter Pan night scene painted on it. I had it for 25 years before my cat got a hold of it. And Rachel says, yep, up or until parents got sick of the sight of them and chucked them. It's a thing, Rachel says. Easter Sunday egg rolling. Maybe that only happens where I live in the UK.
Oh, I think they do stuff here like that too.
Yeah.
And they do Easter egg hunts. I never did that when I was a kid.
And Adam wants to know if Rachel lives near the cheese rolling race place.
Yeah.
What is it with you British? What? Find a hill, roll something down it? Is that a thing? I don't know. I have seen the cheese rolling, but I didn't know if that was in the UK or not, or someplace. But I saw it on YouTube once a few years ago where they have these big wheels of cheese and they roll them down the hill, and it's a competition of sorts.
Yeah, the Ukrainian eggs are
yeah.
are always pretty amazing.
I worked with a teacher who was Ukrainian background, and she did the eggs, the Ukrainian eggs, and she was running a course This was right just after I had retired, and she was running a course. She was retired too at our local library, and they were going to teach you. You're going to make Ukrainian eggs, and I wanted to learn how to do that. I was all booked in and everything for it to learn it, and then I had to change my plans because there was something with my father.
Yeah.
And I had to take him either to the doctors or hospital or something.
Or take him to daycare.
Yeah, well, no, because I could have come back and done the eggs because he was there. No, it was something. It changed my plans completely, so I never got an opportunity to do that. I don't know if they still do it there or not. I should have looked it up. I was always interested in learning how to do it.
Oh my God, Stephen, I'll send you Adam says, oh my God, Stephen, I'll send you the link. They chased the cheese. One lady that's won multiple times broke her collarbone down the hill and still carried on to win the race.
Okay, it sounds like it's a serious kind of thing. I guess, well, the British, you know. Barb says, growing up, I knew a girl who was Ukrainian. The art of egg decorating is so cool. Dye, wax, and special tool to take off the wax. Yeah. Let's see, caught up here. And Rachel, maybe throw some baby bells with the eggs. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, what people will do. What we used to do when I was a little kid, and we go to my grandparents at Easter time. My grandmother, now there were a couple of years when we were young, they only did it a couple times, where they got these solid Easter bunnies, and they were chickens and bunnies, and they came from a local bakery. And they were not hollow. They were solid. They weren't huge, but they were a good size. My grandmother would buy a bunch of them, and she hid them all over the house, and there were little clues all written out for this. And I remember that was a lot of fun. I was probably 7 years old, 6 or 7, something like that. And that was a lot of fun. But I think we only ever did that once. But every year she would get a big box of these chocolate. It wasn't particularly good chocolate either. It was what do they call it? Compound. Probably compound chocolate. But as a kid, you know, you break a tooth on them too. You're trying to eat them because they were solid. But yeah, always look forward to that.
Yeah, I used to get those either hollow Easter bunnies.
Oh yeah, you punch in their face.
Yeah.
Eat the bunny's ears first. You eat the
But
ears
that wasn't
first.
particularly good chocolate.
No.
Yeah.
We used to get those too. My Uncle Tom, my mother's brother, he used to get us these huge bunnies, chocolate bunnies or whatever, and they were completely hollow, and you poked holes in them and ate them, and that eat their face. And the eyes in them, though, always were that really hard, whatever that was.
Yeah, and then one time I got a solid bunny, and it was like hard as a rock, and it was chocolate wasn't good in that either.
No. I mean,
they were waxy chocolate.
Well, I was very disappointed the first time I ever bought a lint Easter bunny. I thought they were solid. They're not.
No,
they're just hollow for what they cost.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, the chocolate's good in them, but nevertheless, they're I don't know what they cost now.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Probably about $10.
Yeah.
And then there's the Laura Secord. I don't think Americans and the British won't know what Laura Secords is because it's a Canadian thing. They have these. Well, if you've ever had a Cadbury's cream egg, they're kind of like that, except they're more solid inside, and there's like white, yellow.
You get one where it's white with a yellow
center and then chocolate covered.
Pure sugar.
Oh yeah, and it's very, very rich.
Yeah, they're sort of like the Cadbury cream eggs.
You can't sit down and eat one, and they're big.
But they're big.
Well, actually, they used to come in several sizes.
Yeah, I know, but you can get big ones too, and they're now they've come out with smaller ones, but they're pure sugar.
Oh yeah.
And then they've got other ones where it's like got a chocolate filling with nuts in it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, they got all kinds of different ones.
But they're all sweet.
Oh yeah, rot your teeth. Let's see. Dobrovka says easy, cheap, and safe is to boil eggs and onion skins. Eggs will be nice, light brown, rusty color, beautiful. Oh, so the onion skins sort of dye them.
Yeah.
Into it. Yeah.
You can also buy brown eggs.
Well, that's true. Yeah, but I think these would be more because they probably mottled and
probably.
Charlotte did Ukrainian eggs years ago. Jeannie's here. Hi, Jeannie. Adam says everything chocolate egg related here is getting smaller and thinner. It makes me so mad. Well, yeah, same here.
It's like the little chocolate bars that you get.
Yeah.
They keep getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah. Rachel says my daughter didn't eat chocolate, so I used to write her and her friends clues and hide gifts around the garden and the house.
Mm.
I've never done one of those as a kid. I never did an Easter egg hunt out in the yard or anything like that.
No,
Well, in
never.
Canada, it's kind of rough because you don't know what kind of weather. It's pretty wet and sloppy in April.
Yeah, because in this area of the, you could, like right now we don't have much snow, but you wouldn't want to go outside and do that because the ground's pretty soggy.
Yeah.
And you might just end up with mud.
Crush your eggs.
Anyway, so
skunks would probably steal them.
yeah, and it wouldn't be the ground outside is not nice at Easter in Canada, so that's probably why we never did
that. Yeah. Adam says creme eggs are my favorite. Although I was only last week, someone pointed out they are creme eggs, not cream eggs. Yeah, I guess the French creme sounds so much more elaborate with that. So anyways, yeah, we got on to Easter real quick. Sewing with me on Wednesdays, links in the show notes. I tell you this every week. Where are you? Really, people, where are you? Is it something I said, something I did? What with it? I mean, we still have the usual group there, but we want some more blood in there. If you've been putting it off,
and they try not to talk about politics.
No, we don't talk about politics. There, no, we don't. We have a pleasant time. It is pleasant for all.
People talk about
everything except politics.
Yeah.
And we talk about new projects. We talk about new things that we've bought, not necessarily always related to sewing. You never know what we're going to talk about. Sometimes we get a little naughty. That happens too. So, yeah, join us. Okay. Retreat registration next Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern. I will start accepting your emailed registration requests. Do not send me an email requesting to be registered at the night before or at 7 in the morning. It's 9 o'clock on the dot when I'll start accepting them. If you want to send it after that, that's perfectly all right. But just to make it fair for everybody, okay? So if it comes in even at 8:59 a.m., I will ignore it. I already had somebody, but she did it by accident because she sent me an email to let me know it was an accident. Already tried to register, and I sent back a note saying, can't register yet. I've had a couple of people try already. So, nope. So next Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern time, my time zone. And then it's open for until I think I'm closing it down about April the 13th. So it fills in the very first day that I open up the retreat, as seen in past ones, the retreat registration. I'm inundated, like with them in. And what I do is, so you know, is I do them in the order they came in. They're all time stamped through my email. So I start with the first one. I have some things I have to register. I have to put your information, your first and your last name. That's what you have to send me, and your contact email. If it's different from the email you sent it from, okay? If it's the same, you don't need to worry about that. I can just pick it up from the header line. And I put that in, and then after I have you registered, I will send you out an email telling you that you are confirmed, that you now have a place for the retreat. It may take half an hour or so before you get that email. But if you don't hear anything within half a day, well, you'll hear it much sooner than that. Check your spam to make sure it didn't go to that as well. And if you can't find it in spam and it's been the next day or something like that, send me another email and say, did you get it? And I'll send you one back. But of course, you may not get it if it's going to spam. So whatever. But yeah, that's how it works. Let's see here. Adam says, I'll come along Wednesday and start talking about blowing eggs again. By all means.
Can you demonstrate?
Could you demonstrate? There we go again. Let's see. Karen says the time change makes it challenging to attend. You mean as in
The
time
retreat,
zones
retreat, or
for the retreat, you mean? Uh because well, depending on where you are, Karen, I'm not sure where you are. Um yeah, because if you're in UK, everything will be 5 hours ahead of us, our time. If you're out in the West Coast, it'll be 3 hours uh behind us.
yeah, like I mean, I'm not sure where you're located, but if you're only out by a couple hours or something like that, it doesn't matter if you join in a little
Yeah,
late.
that's fine. You don't, and on the like we open the I officially start letting people in at about 7:30 in the morning because I'm there. The official opening, that's when I'll go over a few
That's for the
things
retreat.
for the retreat, is at 9 o'clock. But it's for the registration. It just opens for registration at 9 o'clock because I want to make sure everybody has a fair chance at it. All right, so here's maybe what you're thinking. If you're out in the West Coast, for example,
She's Vancouver.
oh yeah, you're okay. You're out in the West Coast, and so 9 o'clock my time for you. That would be 8, no 7, 6. It would be 6 o'clock in the morning, which is early. I know. I'll let you in on a little secret though. Don't worry. I have never had it fill up within 3 hours. Okay. I'll get about probably the first day. I'll probably get anywhere between 45 to 50 signups on the first day. And then it starts to dwindle a little bit. And then there'll be an upstart again about 3
Yeah.
days before I close it.
And if you sign up, you don't have to. Okay. So, which is,
What?
and if you sign up for a retreat, or whatever, then if you don't get going until 9 or 10 o'clock, you can still join.
Yeah, you can still join in.
Yeah, like it doesn't mean
No.
that you can't.
All the registration does is reserve your spot for the day. That's it. It doesn't cost anything, but that spot is yours. And if you need to pop out for an hour or something because you've got something you have to do and you want to pop back in an hour or so later, that's not a problem. That spot is yours. It is reserved for you to do with what you will. So you don't have to worry about it at all. Okay, let's see. Rachel says you'll get put on the naughty list, Adam. Adam says I'm the founder of that list. We won't go there. Dubrovka says, question, what is the coffee maker you have and like? We're looking for a new one, and that is good quality. Well, what is it?
It's a Philips / Seiko, SAECO. It's it's an automatic espresso coffee maker, and they started around $700.
Oh, for the cheap one.
For the cheap
That's
one,
not
yeah.
what we bought.
No, we bought pretty much the top of the line one, and it was about $1,100.
It was on sale, wasn't it? For
Yeah.
1,100.
Yeah,
Its regular price was.
was $1,400.
Yeah, it's not a cheap coffee maker, but it pre-programmed. If you want a macchiato, you push a button. If you want an espresso, you push a button. If you want a cappuccino, press a button. And it'll even foam the milk for you. There's a little thing that's attached to the machine. You pour your milk into that to start, and you push the button, and it does the milk foaming and everything automatically. You don't have to do the little whip thing or put it underneath the spout and do all that.
I mean, you still have to put the milk in, but
You have to put the milk in, but that's it. And you do have to, actually, it has an automatic cleaning system for it, but basically that cleans out the tubes for the milk, because it slurps the milk up in there. But the cup that it's in, it just comes off, you rinse under the tap, put it back in, done. It is so easy. It grinds your coffee. Actually, technically, I have crema coffee. It's the one you see, the the
Cream on top.
it looks like cream, but it's
Yeah.
not cream. It's part of the coffee, but it's the foam that the coffee will make coming through something like this. Easy to clean.
Yes,
Um,
Heidi, it makes coffee.
yes, it'll make a regular coffee too. With it. It is a great machine. I love it. Since we've had it, I wouldn't have anything else but this kind of machine. I feel like a barista.
Yeah, it's you don't have to put any filters in it, and you just every once a month you have to. There's what they call a brew unit you have to take out and rinse off and stuff like that. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of maintenance.
Yeah. Karen says, I live in a senior community and go to breakfast at 7 a.m. So really don't get going until 8 or 9, which is late in the event. No, it's not late in the event because they're still going on. You will get, when you register, when everybody registers, and about a few days before the actual retreat, I send out an agenda for the day. You will know what's happening when throughout the whole day. So if you want to time your time there according to the speakers, when they're going to be on, you'll know when that is. So yeah, it's fairly flexible. So it sounds to me like you're talking yourself out of it. Could be another reason for that. Little afraid? Don't be afraid. We have the icebreaker cocktail party at 7 o'clock on the Friday night beforehand. And the whole idea of the icebreaker cocktail party is right in the name. It is so people will get comfortable with each other. Not everybody comes to the cocktail party, but all are welcome to that have signed up for the retreat. Again, the details about that will come out to you once you've registered. And it's always a lot of fun. So, yeah, don't let the time zone get to you with that. And, they'll come. Take from it what you can. Heidi's here. Hi, Heidi. Yes, Heidi, you're late. Next week, Heidi, just for you, we're on at 3 instead of 4 Eastern time because of Easter. Let's see, did I miss anybody? Oh, Adam says he has a Breville bean to cup. It's fantastic. I've heard of them.
Yeah.
I
mean, there's lots of, you can do some research. There's lots of coffee makers available, depending on what you want to pay. So,
Heidi says,
and depending on what you want it to do.
Heidi says, so it's a husband replacement. Nice. Maybe. Oh, and
I don't know, does your husband make coffee?
Yeah. The other thing too is you can program it for each individual in your home. So there's a little color code. I'm blue, Walter's green. I have mine set because I like coffee crema, and I like it with an extra shot of espresso. So I have it all pre-programmed into there. I just push my little blue button and away
he
it goes.
gets it. And when I drink a coffee, I just have plain coffee.
He's so boring. Yeah.
I don't have the
We have this
espresso.
elaborate machine and you have plain coffee. I haven't made a macchiato in a while.
Actually, we went out and Costco had the coffee we use on special. So we went out and bought a whole bunch of bags of it.
Yeah. Yeah. We buy Lavazza coffee, and it used to be for a 1 kilogram bag of beans. What was it, about
$16?
16 something? Now it's like almost 30.
No, it was $19, and then it would go on sale for $16, and then all of a sudden it went up to $25 a bag, and then
But then it went up again.
no, it's
Didn't it?
$25
Oh,
a
I
bag
thought it
now,
went up again.
and it was just recently on sale for $19. So,
Oh, yeah. So we
$5
stocked up.
off a bag.
Yeah. We stocked up.
But it's certainly a lot cheaper than buying the pods for an espresso or something like that.
Cheryl says, I'm bummed can't make the retreat, have a funeral that day. Yes, thank you for sending me that email there, Cheryl. Well, we'll miss you. And what can you say about a funeral? I hope you have a good time. No, it doesn't seem appropriate. Adam says, everyone in the retreat is so lovely. If they aren't, Stephen boots them out, and so everyone has a good time.
Yeah. So what's the day? The retreat's on the 18th.
18th,
right? Yeah.
April 18th. Yeah. So it's 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
Yeah, roughly. Karen says, I'm referring to Wednesdays basically. Someday I'll pop in. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
you can still pop in on Wednesdays.
we have one lady that's in Hawaii. She pops in at 3:30. We're done at 4. But she's there for half an hour, and because she wants to be there, and she shows us what she's been working on, and we catch up on what she's doing and everything like that. So yeah, it's very relaxed. Very relaxed. Heidi says, reference to egg blowing. I may have blown a bit too hard when attempting this as a child, blew the end right out of the egg. Okay, can you suck a golf ball through foot? Never mind. Adam says, oh lordy, Heidi, I don't know why I found that so funny. I did. Because Adam, we're on the same wavelength here. We're dirty boys. Rachel says, that's funny, Heidi. My cousin owns a coffee house. Luckily, I get family discount on his coffee and beans. Okay, well, that's okay. Funeral for one of my quilting friends. I'll be thinking about the fun I'll miss. Yeah, well, that's too bad. But life happens, and death. Karen said that's what will happen. Yeah. So anyways, this past week, well, okay, this past week on Monday Morning Coffee with Steven, we took a 3D print home tour. I showed you where I put all my prints, and there's a lot of them, and I only showed you downstairs. So yeah. And I just cleaned out Lucy's room, and unfortunately, I had to commit some things to landfill, and there's no way around it. They are working on systems for home use where you can recycle your old prints and things like that and the poop from your printer and make new filament. But it isn't perfected yet. But it's coming. It's coming.
A poop recycler.
I would say that within the next year, these will be available for the general public. And depending on what they cost, how well they work, I will invest in one. I really will. Because I really hate throwing this stuff out. But you get so much of it, what can you do? So that's what we talked about on Monday Morning Coffee. The Idiot Quilter, we talked about organizing for the Alaska quilt, because there's a lot of things you need to know, like color choices. I bought it as a kit, and I had to figure out which colors they meant, because in the pattern, they just go print 1, print 2, print 3, and there's no color guide or anything. Well, of course, because depending on the store, they can kit it whatever way they want to, what fabrics they want to use. So I get why they would do that. But it was kind of confusing, but I figured it out. And then after I got it all figured out and I got all my fabrics labeled, I discovered that all the fabrics had already been pre-labeled. It's the way they folded the fabric. They folded it over top of the label, and I didn't unfold the fabric at that point with it. So, but it was nice to see that it confirmed that I had done the right numbers, but you know, that was dumb the way they folded it.
Or that was dumb that you didn't unfold it.
Why would I unfold it when I'm trying to figure out the colors?
Well, why wouldn't you take it all apart?
Why would you take it all apart? It was a nice little bundle. There it was.
Well,
nicely laid out. Fine.
Do you remember where you got 3D gnome bowl? I think you had it sitting near the sewing machine.
Ava, I sent you. I thought a link for that. Didn't you ask about that in the comments a couple of weeks ago? Refresh my memory. Or was that somebody else? Because I had a link and I put it in the comment section for whoever asked about it. So let me know if that was you.
Or is that one that you put together? Like
no,
merged?
That's the actual.
Oh.
No, that's the thing with it. Yeah. So yeah, Ava, let me know if that was you, because I put it in the comment section and I put the link for it in there. And right now I don't have that readily at my fingertips. Oh, John's here from Art East. Hi, John. And John says, whose team are you on, Walter? Walter's not doing the quilt. We're on dusk or dawn. I'm dusk.
Okay, I'm on neither.
He's not doing it, John. Haha. Nice try to get him into it. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Leave him alone. Let him do his free motion quilting.
I still have a couple of quilts upstairs that I've never finished. So.
No, Ava says I may have. Getting old isn't for the faint of heart. Well, Ava, if you send me an email, if you can't find it where you wrote that comment and that, I will try and find the link again. I think I know where it is.
Who's Ava Martin? Is that Ava Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways. Okay, so what were we talking about? Song that the retreat, we've got that out there. Okay, tomorrow, before I forget, because time is fleeting here, we haven't even got to the main topic yet, but that's not unusual. Tomorrow's Monday morning coffee with Stephen is alive at 8 a.m. Eastern time. It's a YouTube live, so join me in the chat. I've got lots of things to talk about, but I would really like to focus on what you want to talk about too. Your questions, your comments, your inquiries, things like that. Because it's live, we can go down a lot of rabbit holes, and I would like to go down rabbit holes. So that's tomorrow morning. Already the splash screen is up on YouTube. I created it this morning. So you just need to find it and click on it. Just go to my channel, Idiot Quilter, and it will be there. But I've made it even easier. I think I may have put the link. I don't know if I did put the link in the show notes. Well, anyways, it's up there. It's not hard to find. So, that's tomorrow morning. Okay, on So Chatty this week, we did using your Accuquilt with your embroidery machine. And that's where I told you the dirty little secret. For those of you that don't have Accuquilt machines, but you like to do applique and you've got an embroidery machine, there are lots of free files on Accuquilt that you can download, and I showed you how to use them in your embroidery machine to do applique with it. I don't think Accuquilt really thought about this, because what they thought about was it was incentive. If you got the die, you could buy, in some cases it's free, for $5 the file for your embroidery machine. And the method they use for doing it is half-ass backwards, as far as I'm concerned. There's an easier way. So I show you the half-ass backwards way, and I show you my way with an embroidery machine, which I think my way with the embroidery machine is a little bit easier with it. But anyways, that's, if you haven't seen it, that's in So Chatty. Next week on So Chatty, we're going to be looking at the carpenter's wheel Accuquilt die, and I show you how to do a carpenter's wheel with it from start to finish. And I'm going to show you some of the other dies too. The carpenter's wheel, I've had that die for probably 3 years, maybe longer. I bought it fairly new when I first got into Accuquilt. Never took it out of the wrapper, so this gives me an excuse. I have a double wedding ring die as well that I want to take out of the wrapper and try it too. And I may even eventually in this series make a whole quilt using nothing but Accuquilt dies. And I want to sort of show you how there's 72 different blocks you can make with a cube set. That could make a really interesting sampler. That would take some doing, making 72 different ones, but I don't know if I'd do all 72, but show you how that system works as well. Okay, let's see. Heidi says, for several weeks now, I've tried to skip right over Wednesday and go to Thursday. It's because of me doing a self-defense course on Tuesday evenings, so to be over and back to normal. Oh, okay, soon to be over and back to normal. Okay, that's good to know, Heidi, because we've missed you. Mona says, hi, John. Excitedly waiting the arrival of my mantle dog's pattern. Okay, and Heidi says, ooh, I can do tomorrow morning. What farting creature do we need to learn about next?
You had talked about creatures that fart.
Did we?
I guess you did.
Must have done that on a Wednesday. I don't know. I like
fish fart.
Ava.
Weren't you talking about fish fart?
Oh, fish farts. And that's another thing you learn on Wednesday So Days. little things you didn't know happen. That's how we learned about fish farts. And it wasn't me who brought it up. So, Heidi says, I love geckos, and I'm fascinated by Walter's shirt.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you have geckos on there.
I guess so.
That's Australian fabric.
Yes, Australian lizards.
Yeah. Which they have lots of. Okay, so meanwhile in Canada, well, just like in the US, gas prices are up and down. Thank you, Mr. Trump. One day you need a small mortgage, the next day it drops down again. It's all over the place. And I just saw a YouTube short where an Australian woman was explaining actually to herself, but she was acting as a different person, going, oh my God, the gas in the States is so expensive. It's $4 or $5 a gallon or something like that. And she's saying, here in Australia, it's only $2.89 a gallon. And the woman looks at her and goes, it's not in gallons, honey, it's liters. It's over $11 a gallon. So yeah, it could have it worse, right? Yeah, so for any of you that were thinking about coming to Canada and you think our gas is cheap, remember we're in
Gas
liters.
has always been more expensive than the US and Canada.
Yeah, basically multiply it by 4, because although 4 liters does not equal a gallon,
Almost.
it's almost. So yeah, so multiply whatever you see the price at the thing for.
Yeah, so ours is 170 right now times 4.
So
Yeah.
Barb says, how much is your gas in Ontario? I'm paying $1.70.
I saw
for a
170
liter.
the other day.
Yeah.
I filled up on cheap gas earlier this week for 160. That was at Costco though. They're always cheaper.
I don't know what that little symbol is Barb's got in
No.
open.
What's the symbol?
What's that little symbol, Barb? You put it, I've never seen that before. I don't know what that means. It's the first time I've ever seen that. I don't even know where you get a little symbol like that. Anyways, okay, so gas prices. Our students, the university students, are all pissed off with the Ford government, our Premier's Ford, as you know, in Ontario, because he's altering the OSAP system, which is the grant and loans for students going to, colleges or universities. And he's changing the rules on it. He's not getting rid of it. It's just there's going to be possibly he's cutting back on grants. It'll be more loans. And they're all bitching that they'll be in debt when they get out of university. Yes, you will be. Get a job. I do not feel sorry for them. I'm sorry. I don't. I had to, and don't anybody come up with this comment and say, well, yeah, it was so much cheaper when you went to university.
Yeah,
no,
well,
it's all relative.
That was when you went to university, $1.80 was the
minimum wage.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I worked my ass off in the summers at a job I absolutely hated, but it was a means to an end to pay for my tuition. And I didn't qualify for an OSAP loan in those days because apparently my father made too much money. He didn't. My parents didn't give me any money for university. I paid for my own education. They didn't have a lot of money to spare with it. But in the wisdom of the government at that time, well, all these kids, they like to stay on in university for, several degrees. Well, yeah, university life's nice, especially this day and age, because I don't think any of them do any work, with it all. So, yeah, so I don't feel really sorry for them. Maybe it's going to take you a few more years to get your education. I mean, you can go back to school and work a full-time job. I did it when I got my master's degree. I was working as a full-time teacher. I took courses in the evening and I went to university in the summers to get my master's degree. So I don't have any sympathy for them. Yeah, cry me a river, really, on that. Designing Jay's here. Hi, Designing Jay, and East Coast Kim is here as well.
Yeah, Adam, yours is 190. It's always been more expensive in England than
by pound.
By 190.
190 a pound.
Yeah, I know, which is $3.50 Canadian a liter,
Yeah.
which would be $14 a gallon in Ontario.
Yeah.
And which would be
Yeah, so What, you're still calculating
Yeah,
that?
no, then that would work out to $10 US a gallon
So there you go.
in the US.
Yeah. So it's affecting us too. So anyways, Ford also, they've been demanded, they want to see his phone records. He won't release them. They're putting things together through the Privacy Act and requesting, and he's going on this an invasion of privacy, not his, but the people of Ontario, because he gets something like 600 calls a day from people needing help and things like that, and that would be a violation of their privacy and all that stuff. What's he got to hide? It's not that people are requesting things, and I kind of doubt 600 a day or a week or whatever he says it is, and he tries to claim he answers all of them personally. I doubt that. He's full of bullshit. So he's trying to hide something. So, you know, he is a mini Trump. There's no two ways about it. So there you go. And of course, we had the tragedy of the Air Canada crash in the States on the two pilots, just young pilots, just starting their careers, really. Which were no fault of theirs. They tried to avoid it, but the air traffic controller got a little mixed up and told a fire truck that was going to something else on the airport that he could cross the runway. Well, that didn't work out very well, did it? And of course, they're now blaming it all on the fact, and I think this is probably the case, that they don't have enough air traffic controllers because the Trump government is not paying them right now, and they're overworked. And yeah, you really don't want to overwork an air traffic controller, do you? So, because, well, there's the result. So I don't know what'll happen. I don't know if those passengers have the ability, because there were some that were hurt, but not seriously. I wonder if they have any recourse.
They can put a lawsuit out. If they have travel insurance, they'll probably get something from that, and the insurance companies will all sue whoever's at fault.
I guess, yeah, but it could be a long time before they see.
Oh yeah,
they'll all fight it.
It'll be in the courts for years.
Yeah, because they'll be, you know, blame Peter, blame Paul, whoever, with all of that. John says you can get $50,000 in debt before you can have a drink. Yep, that's true.
You said her first, most kids don't understand the gravity of having thousands and thousands of dollars in student debt, loan debt.
Yep, that's true. Because you'll be paying that forever. The first thing I did when I graduated from university was I did have a student loan. I had a student loan for, get this, $210. I couldn't qualify for a grant. Now, was that a lot of money then? Not really. It was still a lot. That didn't pay enough for tuition. But I took it, and my reasoning was, I thought, well, if I don't take it, then if I try to apply again for it the next year or something, they'll look at me and say, well, you never took it the first year, you don't need it. Well, that theory didn't really work out. But I paid that sucker off right as soon as I got out of university. As soon as I got my first job, and I couldn't afford to pay $210 in one fell swoop. This is 1981. Okay? I mean, I had to pay rent. I think my rent was 200 and something. I mean, now you look at it and go, really? It was 200 and something. And so I think I paid it off within 6 months after I graduated with it. But I did pay it off. And then you hear a lot of these students now who are forfeit, like, don't bother with it. And of course, they start charging the interest and everything like that. So, you know, I really think higher education should be free. It is in some countries in Europe and around the world, like for the first degree, not for the second or the third. There's some that like to stay in university forever. Nice place, you know, really. So I don't have any sympathy for them, and I'm sorry about that. Oh, and that Air Canada crash too. Okay, talking about priorities. So the CEO of Air Canada, who's an idiot, gets on the blower, does his speech about, you know, the condolences to the family and whatever else he said, and he did it all in English. And he got criticized for not doing it in French. Well, he says he can't speak French. Well, there's two avenues of thought. Walter has one avenue. I have another avenue.
I figure the CEO of a company, a multinational company in Canada that runs an airline whose all their employees have to be bilingual should be able to speak French. It should be able to speak French.
Yeah. Well, my thought is this. I agree. He probably should be able to speak French. But in the case of this situation, he didn't speak French. He should have had a translator on there, for one thing. But people are losing sight of what the real problem is here. 2 pilots lost their life. They're heroes because it could have been a lot worse, and they did put on the brakes and they tried to avoid the whole thing. So the passengers all lived with it. That's the whole issue there. Not whether or not the CEO of the corporation, when he's making a condolence speech, didn't speak in the 2 official languages of Canada. Like, come on, people. There is more. Like, what about focusing on who's at fault? The poor treatment of airline controllers or of air traffic controllers and stuff like that. Maybe the not lack, but the misuse or people not following the guidelines, maybe, for safe transport. There's a whole lot of issues there that you could focus on. Why make a big thing out of the fact that the CEO, who's a knob, didn't speak in the 2 official languages? Really, people, priorities here. Barb says, terrible situation at LaGuardia Airport. I saw the passengers can sue up to $300,000 each. Yeah, but it'll take forever, if ever. Heidi says, I watch videos detailing what young unmarrieds in Japan pay for their apartments, and our young people cannot imagine how little they pay for rent.
Okay, I don't know. I haven't seen what they pay for their apartments.
Yeah.
But you probably can't imagine how small their apartments are either.
Yeah, that too. Car Quilter says, for some young people, tech schools are an option. Let's not forget the value of skilled choice paper. Yeah, sure. And they're a little cheaper, too. And just by getting a university degree doesn't guarantee you a job anymore at all. And there's a lot of useless degrees. Yes, you can get a degree in basket weaving. That used to be a joke. It's true. You actually can. They probably call it fiber arts or something, but you can. And then Barb says, but then Carney made a big deal about him not talking in French. Did he? I didn't see that.
Yeah, no, Carney said that after somebody else had criticized him, somebody in Quebec criticized him for not speaking French, and Carney agreed with it.
Well, Carney has to agree with it.
Yes.
He was in Quebec. He needs them there, too. I mean, yeah, I think he should have tried it.
Okay, Heidi says the CEO of Air Canada, as an Anglophone, pledged several years ago to learn French.
Oh.
The pilot
was from Quebec,
Yeah, and he could have read the speech in French without being fluent.
Yep, that's true. He could have done that. But my point is, I agree with all of that. But my point is, isn't there a bigger issue here than that? I mean, yes, that could be brought up in the whole bit, but what's the point of bringing that up? Is that going to bring back to life the 2 pilots that lost their lives? No. That's why I say priorities. This kind of thing. So, I don't know. People can get their knickers in a knot over the stupidest things. What else was going on?
However, I bet you if it was the reverse, if he turned around and spoke only in French and not in English, nobody would have made a big deal about it.
Probably not. Probably not, because we don't care. But, yeah. I guess what it says is he was not very insightful in thinking about what he was doing, which might be a direct reflection on how he manages the company.
Yeah, well, he is a knob.
He is a knob, so yeah. So, speaking of Quebec, Secularism law is under attack. You cannot wear religious symbols in public institutions, that kind of thing. I'm not sure how far they're supposedly taking it. I don't know if a headscarf is considered a religious symbol or whatever, and so they're getting all uptight. I find it ironic that the Quebec people are getting upset about this when they tend to be primarily Catholic.
Yeah, it's a headscarf thing.
Yeah, and everything. I mean, really, again, priorities. What's that? Now, if you're walking into a classroom and you're holding a crucifix, kind of a thing that's 6 feet tall and dragging it in, well, there might be a line, okay? But a headscarf, I wonder, as I mentioned Catholic, I guess that would pertain to anybody wearing a little cross. Easter's coming up, lots of religious symbolism there too. I mean, frankly, I don't think there should be any form of religion in a school, but is it really worth, what's the big deal for it? When we were in Turkey, we saw women who were dressed to the nines going in they were Muslim. They were going into the mosque to.
They weren't wearing headscarves.
They weren't wearing headscarves, but they were really clever. When they went into the mosque, they had a scarf just tied like you thought it was a piece of their outfit. They just took it, flipped it over their head, and went in. When they came back out, they just took it off because that was what they had to do in their religion. And it wasn't that long ago, back in the 50s, the 60s, the 40s, that ladies were expected to wear a hat when they went to Sunday church. And it didn't matter whether you were Catholic or Protestant. You were supposed to wear a hat. A lady didn't go to church without a hat.
Yeah, but would they still allow her in?
Yeah. Everybody would look at her, though, and nasty things, threaten her. But that wasn't a religious symbol, but,
Yeah, I know. It's not a surprise that the Quebec law is being challenged, so.
Yeah. But, yeah, because it rears its ugly head every so often. And we did hit the NATO mark. The 2% or whatever that we're supposed to fork over all this money to NATO to support it. Carney's got it. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but he's got it. So there you go. Trump was upset with us that we weren't paying our fair share. So there you go. He did it. That'll keep him happy. Not, but
Rachel says in watching the news, they're talking about rationing gas in UK, I guess.
Oh, yeah? And Karen says shades of the 73, 74 oil crisis and also in the early 80s, all that stuff too. So, yeah. Rachel says everyone should be tolerant of everyone else's religion. Yeah, I agree. Whatever. You do you, but just don't you do you and try to do me with it too. That's when
try and invade our space. But
yeah, I agree. If this is something works for you, then you go ahead and you do it, but don't force it down anybody else's throat. And I'm not saying that this is what's happening in Quebec.
No,
this is just Quebec is always special.
Yeah, Quebec is
very special. Yeah, they
have their own. They're very,
very special. Precious even, but whatever. Okay, so speaking of precious, let's talk about rednecks, shall we? Because, well, we have lots of rednecks around, and we have them on both sides of the border. So I'm not making this an American thing or whatever, looking at both sides, but I learned something about rednecks. I think the first thing we think of is that rednecks are just a bunch of, or in other words, hillbillies. They usually talk funny, have no education, lower working class people, live in a shack, use an outhouse. I don't know, that kind of stuff. And there's lots of jokes about that. But I found some definition of it, and the term redneck is a complex American colloquialism that has shifted from a literal description of manual laborers to a derogatory slur and eventually into a cultural badge of pride. It primarily refers to white working class people from rural areas, particularly in the southern United States. Okay, so there's where redneck comes from, but it has some historical origins. Like sunburned laborers were called rednecks because they were out in the sun all the time. They got sunburned. And what burns on you if you're bent down picking crops or whatever? Your neck, redneck. There was something called the Coal Miners' Rebellion in the early 20th century in West Virginia mine wars. Unionized miners wore red bandanas around their necks as a sign of solidarity. These miners were often called rednecks as a mark of their rebellion against coal companies. So it was a symbol of being rebellious. And then Scottish Covenanters. Some historians trace the term back to the 17th century Scotland, where Presbyterians, Covenanters, wore red neckerchiefs to signify their religious and political opposition to the ruling class. Did not know that. And I was a Presbyterian. Never came up. The modern meaning, though, is as a slur, okay, meaning offensively. It is used offensively by outsiders or stereotype rural white people as uneducated, unsophisticated, bigoted, or reactionary. Another term, trailer trash. As a badge of pride, many people in rural communities have reclaimed the word to signify a hardworking, independent, and plain-spoken identity. This redneck chic has been popularized by entertainers like Jeff Foxworthy and various country music artists. Okay, so a lot of groups in society try to claim back a derogatory term and make it into something positive. The LGBT community have claimed the word queer back. I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. Of course, the ones that have claiming back are much younger. They're not my generation. In our generation, queer meant something very, very derogatory. So good luck with the redneck thing, reclaiming it. Cultural subculture. It often identifies a lifestyle involving specific interests such as trucks, hunting, fishing, and a carefree attitude towards social refinement. Okay. So, I don't think any of that's surprising except maybe with some of the origins and stuff like that. But what makes someone a redneck, I asked the AI. Like, just in case I want to be one. Core characteristics and stereotypes. Depending on the context, a person may be considered a redneck based on several factors. Occupation and class, traditionally associated with physical laborers, farmers, or miners who work outdoors. Geography, primarily linked to the southern United States, though redneck culture is spread to rural areas across the country. Cultural values often includes a focus on self-reliance, manual skills like hunting, fishing, or fixing machinery, and a work hard, play hard mentality. I don't think that's necessarily derogatory. Lifestyle choices stereotypically involves affinity for country music, pickup trucks, outdoor sports, and a rejection of urban refinement. Okay. And then I want to know about the education level. High school completion. Roughly 91.1% of the general U.S. population over age 25 has at least a high school diploma. Okay, but that's high school. All right, because one of the stereotypes of a redneck is that they're very low education. That seems relatively high. So I looked up, though, what the equivalent was in Canadian rednecks in terms of education. This was kind of surprising. Because we have rednecks in Canada, for sure. High post-secondary participation, even in rural areas typically associated with redneck culture, there's a high rate of post-secondary education. Many individuals identified with this culture hold trade certificates, diplomas, or degrees from technical colleges or small universities. It almost seems like a contradiction in terms, redneck and higher education, but there it is. Professional diversity. The redneck identity in Canada is found across various economic classes, from blue-collar laborers to high-rise rednecks who work in corporate boardrooms but maintain rural values. Okay, so the CEO of Air Canada might be a redneck. Provincial high achievers. Alberta, often stereotyped as redneck country, is actually one of the most educated places globally, with over 55% of the population holding a post-secondary credential. And yet, they have Smith as their premier. But then again, we have Ford.
Well, she's a redneck, isn't she?
So, well, yeah, like I say, but, high education. But I thought that was really interesting about Alberta. So you Albertans there that I like to slam, you're smart, apparently. So what is a Canadian redneck? Well, you would think it's sort of the same as the American because it's, it's a stereotypical term. No, our rednecks are different from American ones, I found out. The redneck identity in Canada varies by province, often tied to local industries. The prairies, often seen as the heartland of Canadian redneck culture, this area is famous for its cowboy culture, large pickup trucks, and a strong connection to ranching in the oil industry. So you might be a redneck if you own a truck and you work for the oil industry in Alberta. In Ontario, you'll find a significant redneck presence in central and northern Ontario where culture revolves around hunting, fishing, and giving her on an ATVs or snowmobiles. So again, we've got this common link between the provinces, this hunting idea. But hunting is something that is part of Canadian heritage too, because, not that we hunt, but we have a vast land of wilderness with lots of yummy, delicious animals to eat. But I want to eat them, but, some people do. Now, the Maritimes, the fishing variant, often wears rubber boots and plaid jackets. Shows like Trailer Park Boys are often cited as humorous if exaggerate look at this lifestyle. So, fishermen are rednecks? I don't know about that. Interior British Columbia, outside of Vancouver, many areas have a rugged logger style of redneck culture. So, redneck.
I'm a lumberjack. And I'm
okay. I wear women's clothes and it. So what makes a Canadian redneck? The gear. Common staples include flannel shirts, the Canadian tuxedo as they call it, camel, work boots, and John Deere hats. Well, flannel is a Canadian fashion statement. Okay, so, I have owned a flannel shirt or two in my time. Have you?
Yeah, I've got a couple.
Yeah. They're warm, they're comfy, we're cold climate, The toys, a major focus on toys like lifted trucks, skidoos, snowmobiles, and ATVs. Yeah, okay. The lingo, accents
can close the trucks that have the fake scrotum in the back.
Yeah, that's just stupid. You might be a redneck if you've got nuts from your truck bumper. Yeah. The lingo. Accents can be thick, often featuring the classic A and a lazy way of speaking through a clenched jaw in some rural areas. A. So, what we're doing down tomorrow. We're going down to market, right? And we're going to get ourselves a case of beer. We're going to get a 2-4, and we're going to have a really great weekend.
You came from rednecks.
I did. I know of that of which I speak. Yeah. Hey, Mabel, give me another black label. That's a good one, yeah. The activities deeply tied to the outdoors, well, we can't avoid it. Ice fishing, moose hunting, and attending local rodeos or demolition derbies. Okay. So.
They have moose boots, too?
I guess, yeah, moose boots, yeah. So, I asked AI, so by definition, is Trump a redneck? Why Trump does not fit the literal definition. This I found interesting. Upbringing and wealth. Trump was born into wealth in Queens, New York, and was a millionaire in inflation-adjusted dollars by the age of 8. Education. This I didn't know. He attended elite private schools and graduated from Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania with a degree in economics. Well, I would have thought he failed that. Lifestyle. His life has been defined by luxury real estate, gold-plated penthouses, and high-end golf courses, which is the antithesis of the poor rural laborer stereotype. Okay, so he defies the definition or the stereotype of a redneck. Why the label is often associated with him, though? Political identity. Trump's rhetoric often champions the white working class and the poorly educated, groups that some critics and supporters alike associate with the redneck label. Shared values and tone. Many supporters see him as a regular guy, Who isn't afraid to be politically incorrect or brutally honest? Traits sometimes attributed to redneck archetype. I don't know. AI was being very nice to Trump on that. Brutally honest, he doesn't know the meaning of the word. Politically incorrect, oh yeah, that's for sure. A regular guy, he's not regular. The man might eat McDonald's, but that's not regular. He's never. The man was fascinated by the word groceries at one point. What are groceries? Opposition to elites. His belligerent and populist style is seen by some as encapsulating the same populist anger and resentment that defines modern redneck pride. Well, he definitely has the stereotypical rednecks on his side. MAGA is all about that. So I thought I'd ask, is Doug Ford the premier of Ontario redneck? Because I think he pretty much is, by the stereotype. The term redneck is subjective, often derogatory label. Whether it applies to Ontario Premier Doug Ford depends on one's perspective and definition of the word. Public perception and folksy image. Critics and some media commentators have occasionally used the term to describe Ford's political style, characterized by straight-talking, everyman persona aimed at a blue-collar base. Yeah, he aims it at the base like Trump aims his for the mega base. Same thing. But he is not an everyman. And he is not straight talking.
Putting liquor in corner stores.
Yeah, let's put $1 a buck of beer. Remember buck of beer? Yeah. Political branding. Ford's 2022 campaign slogan, "Get her done," was noted by some as reminiscent of Larry the Cable Guy's "Get her done" catchphrase, which is explicitly tied to a redneck brand. Background. From a factual standpoint, Ford was born into a wealthy, politically active family in Etobicoke, a suburb area of Toronto, and co-ran the family's successful labeling business, Deco Labels, which is actually headquartered in Chicago, I think. This background is more aligned with that of a suburban businessman than the traditional redneck archetype of a rural working-class individual. Yeah, like Trump. He's never had to do without. His father was a millionaire, billionaire, whatever. He is too. So there you go. He never had to go out and look for a job. He worked for the family business. So what's he know about the common everyday man? Nothing. Background. Wait, I read that. Contrast with supporters. While he is a popular among the rural and blue-collar voters who might embrace the term themselves, Ford's own identity is more frequently framed as a populist rather than a redneck. So there's a bottom line here for both of these guys. They're both a-holes. So they have that in common. And whether or not you call the definition of a redneck is a-hole, then they're rednecks with it all. But I thought that was kind of interesting because I always went with just the stereotype, redneck, big truck, talks like a Clem Clididdle hopper. For them, a flush toilet is a bucket of water in the outhouse. So I don't know, but apparently there's more to it than that. Okay, I just thought that was interesting and kind of funny. Let's see. Ooh, I saw penis.
Okay. There's a knob thing there. Okay, and then.
Okay.
Shades across.
So what are you doing?
Okay, I'm looking at the top. Karen, we read that one.
We read that one down here. Go down. Heidi says, religion is like a penis. It's fine that you have one. It's fine that you are proud of it, but do not force it on me or anyone else, and please don't wave it around in public. Oh, if only we could. Ruth's here. Hi, Ruth. There's that symbol again. Does anybody know, Ruth, do you know what that symbol is? I don't know what that is. I've never seen it before. Inquiring minds want to know. Walter will look it up. He says, I grew up in a mobile home trailer. I have milked cows by hand and hoed garden crops. I live on a road that turns to dirt just a kilometer up the way. I'm likely the redneckest of any here. Or you're Canadian. One or the other. Kathy's here. I had a Muslim student in 4th grade. We were required to provide a place she could go to pray in public school. She never once asked to go there. Yes, in my high school, we had a room too that was provided for them. And they did go, some. It wasn't a large group, half a dozen or something like that.
Where are you reading that?
Right here under Kathy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Heidi says, crap, I'm wearing a flannel shirt. Well, I didn't want to bring up your fashion sense, dear. But, you know. We had four does we had 4 does out in our backyard this morning. We don't hunt, but we could. Yeah, I was told that the Canadian tuxedo was a denim shirt with blue denim jeans. Yeah, whatever.
Okay, Heidi's got it.
Heidi's got that little symbol too. What is that? Oh, she goes, oh lordy, truck nuts. Karen says, flannel shirts remind me of lumberjacks. Think Paul Bunyan, kind of a Northwest thing, or Minnesota, Canada. Yeah, true. Darcy says, he says he graduated college. Did you get a picture of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I heard something else about that, but he went to college, but he only lasted either 2 weeks or 2 months, and he dropped out or something like that. I mean, I'm not sure. You know, have to do some fact finding about that. Skidamit says, hi, everybody. She's here. Hi, Skidamit. Ruth says, Trump refused to release his school records, so there's indication that he required assistance getting into the Wharton school. Daddy made a huge donation. Okay, well, that would probably fit with the character. Heidi says, I don't see any odd symbol associated with Ruth's comments. And there's one next to you now, Heidi, too. I wonder... Let me see. Is it showing up? Yeah, it's showing up on my iPad, too. So I don't know what that is.
Okay, and then she's got it again. Thanks to Adam Sows.
Huh. Did you find it on there?
No, not yet. I have to look.
Oh.
I have to isolate it.
Oh. So moving down here, we'll have to investigate that later on. Yeah, Ruth doesn't see any on hers either. Weird. I wonder if this is something to do with...
It must be something that's...
Yeah, I don't know that YouTube's doing, but I don't know. Adam says it's a top fan symbol for people that have interacted the most in chat. Well, no, it's not the crown. That's not what we're seeing. I know what the crown is.
It looks like
it's
a
like
slash with an X under it and an A next to it.
Yeah.
A slash on top of an X with an A next to it. That's lower than the X.
It looks like this. Does anybody know what that is? I have never seen it before. Where's Russ when I need him? He probably knows. Okay, let's get through what everybody else saying. Okay. Yeah, Ruth doesn't see it either.
See, it looks like that.
That one with the A in that. Yeah, so I don't know. Oh, Adam says, ooh, I've got one too. Whoop. Well, I think, Adam, you're talking about the crown thing. We're not talking about that. There it is again. I'm hiding it. But anyway, no, it doesn't look like a crown. We just showed it to you. Oh, maybe there's a time delay. They haven't realized it yet. Scam's not seeing it. Oh, I think they've seen it now. Heidi says,
looks Asian. Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like algebra to me, Ruth says. Not seeing that symbol any...
It looks like a 1 over X.
With an A. Don't know what that is. We will investigate it afterwards. Well, actually, it is time for us to go anyways. So, yeah. I don't know. It's a mystery. So, just before we leave, next Saturday, April 4th, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, registration opens for a retreat. Tomorrow, Monday Morning Coffee with Stephen is a YouTube live. So I hope there are some of you that will be awake at that time. I know time zones are going to screw things up for some of you, but that's life. Can't do much about time zones. Didn't make them. So we'll talk about all kinds of interesting things, and I hope you guys bring some interesting things to the table as well to talk about. And of course, all the regular things throughout the week as usual. So everybody, I hope you have a good week, and we'll see you later. Bye for now.
Yeah. Bye bye.